Welcome, dear brothers and sisters. It's a pleasure to be with you to study together the Watchtower study for the weekend meeting, August 30-31, 2025. Let's begin our consideration of the paragraphs. Paragraphs 1. What part of Jacob's deathbed prophecy will we discuss in this article? We will focus on the second part of Jacob's deathbed prophecy, where he addresses his remaining 8 sons, Zebulun, Issachar, Dan, Gad, Asher, Naphtali, Joseph, and Benjamin. By analyzing his inspired words to each of them, we will draw meaningful lessons that can guide our conduct, strengthen our faith, and help us fulfill our role in Jehovah's service. Paragraphs 2. Describe Zebulun's blessing and how it was fulfilled. Zebulun's blessing foretold that his descendants would settle near the seashore in the northern region of the Promised Land, a location favorable for trade and travel. This was fulfilled over 200 years later when the Zebulunites received territory between the Sea of Galilee and the Mediterranean. Moses' words in Deuteronomy 33:18 suggest that their position allowed them to engage in commercial activity, giving them reason for joy and prosperity. Paragraphs 3. What can help us to be content? Being content comes from focusing on the blessings we already have rather than on what we lack. As Psalm 16:6 and 24:5 remind us, recognizing Jehovah's goodness brings joy. By choosing to see the positive side of our situation and making personal progress rather than comparing ourselves with others, we can cultivate lasting happiness regardless of our location or circumstances. Paragraphs 4. Describe Issachar's blessing and how it was fulfilled. Issachar's blessing described him as a strong-boned donkey, symbolizing strength and diligence. Jacob's words indicated that his descendants would live in a pleasant and fertile land. This came true when Issachar's tribe received a rich territory near the Jordan River. They not only worked hard to cultivate their land, but also supported national efforts, such as participating in military campaigns during the time of Barak and Deborah. Paragraphs 5. Why should we strive to be hard workers? We should strive to be hard workers because Jehovah values diligent effort in his service, just as he appreciated the industriousness of the tribe of Issachar. This includes those who take the lead in the congregation, especially elders who work tirelessly to care for spiritual needs. Although they do not face physical battles, their efforts to protect the congregation from spiritual dangers and to give encouraging instruction are vital and pleasing to God. Paragraph 6. What assignment did the tribe of Dan receive? The tribe of Dan was likened to a snake that could bring down much stronger opponents, indicating its strategic and effective defense capabilities. Dan fulfilled this role by forming the rear guard during Israel's journey through the wilderness, an important assignment even though it was not carried out in the spotlight. Their quiet but essential contribution showed that every role in Jehovah's arrangement has value. Paragraph 7. What is true of any theocratic assignment we care for? Any theocratic assignment we care for, whether seen by others or not, is valuable in Jehovah's eyes. He appreciates our efforts when they are motivated by love for him, not by a desire for recognition. Tasks that may seem small, like cleaning the kingdom hall or supporting conventions, are meaningful to Jehovah when done with a sincere heart, as Jesus emphasized in Matthew 6:1-4, paragraphs 8. What made Gad vulnerable to attack in the Promised Land? Gad was vulnerable to attack because the tribe settled east of the Jordan River, near hostile nations. Although the land offered excellent pasture for their livestock, its exposed location made them a target for raiders, just as Jacob had foretold. Despite the danger, the Gadites showed great courage and trust in Jehovah by sending their warriors to assist the other tribes in conquering the land west of the Jordan, relying on Jehovah to protect their families in their absence. Paragraphs 9. How will trust in Jehovah affect our life choices? Trust in Jehovah will move us to make life choices that prioritize His service even when doing so involves personal sacrifice. Just as the Gadites courageously relied on Jehovah's protection, many today show similar trust by supporting theocratic projects, serving where the need is greater, or accepting challenging assignments. Their confidence in Jehovah's care, as expressed in Psalm 23:1 and 37:3, gives them the strength to put kingdom interests first. Paragraphs 10. What did Asher fail to do? Genesis 49:20. Asher failed to drive out the Canaanites from their allotted territory, despite receiving a fertile and prosperous land that included the important trading port of Sidon. This disobedience exposed them to corrupt influences, and over time, their zeal for pure worship diminished. Their lack of spiritual initiative became evident when they did not support Barak in battle, causing them to miss out on a miraculous victory and earning a rebuke in Deborah's victory song for remaining idle. Paragraphs 11. Why do we need to maintain a balanced view of material things? We need a balanced view of material things so that our service to Jehovah remains our top priority. As Proverbs 18:11 warns, relying on wealth can be deceptive. While money has practical value, as Ecclesiastes 7:12 notes, we must not let the pursuit of possessions interfere with our spiritual goals. By giving Jehovah the best of our time and energy now, we show trust in His promise of lasting peace and security, as expressed in Psalm 4:8. Paragraphs 12. How may Naphtali's blessing have proved true? Genesis 49:21. Naphtali's blessing referred to words of elegance, which may have found fulfillment in Jesus' ministry. Jesus chose Capernaum, located in Naphtali's territory, as His home base. There He became known for His gracious and powerful teaching, fulfilling Isaiah's prophecy that light would shine on Naphtali. His speech, filled with truth and compassion, exemplified the beauty and impact of divine instruction. Paragraphs 13. How can we make sure that our speech pleases Jehovah? Our speech pleases Jehovah when it is truthful, encouraging, and used skillfully to promote the good news. As Psalm 15:1-2 shows, honesty is essential. We build others up by choosing kind and thoughtful words, avoiding criticism or complaints. Following Ephesians 4:29, we also strive to become more effective in starting meaningful conversations that can lead to giving a witness and bringing honor to Jehovah. Paragraphs 14. Explain how Joseph's blessing proved true. Genesis 49:22-26. Joseph's blessing highlighted his special position among his brothers, describing him as the offshoot of a fruitful tree. As Jacob's beloved son through Rachel, Joseph was given the right of the firstborn, a privilege Reuben had forfeited. This was fulfilled when Joseph's sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, each received their own tribal allotment in the Promised Land. Through this double portion, Joseph's descendants were greatly blessed and became fruitful in Israel. Paragraphs 15. How did Joseph react to injustice? Joseph responded to injustice with faith and forgiveness. Though he suffered at the hands of his envious brothers, he did not allow bitterness to take root. As Jacob noted, Joseph's bow remained in place, showing his spiritual stability and inner strength. He relied on Jehovah, allowing trials to refine him, not break him. In time, Joseph forgave his brothers and treated them with kindness, proving that trust in Jehovah can help us endure and respond to mistreatment in a godly way. Paragraph 16. How can we imitate Joseph's example when reacting to trials? We can imitate Joseph by staying close to Jehovah during trials and refusing to let hardships damage our unity with fellow worshipers. Just as Joseph allowed his tests to refine qualities like mercy and forgiveness, we too can view our trials as part of Jehovah's loving training. As Hebrews 12:7-11 shows, this discipline produces peace and righteousness. Like Joseph, we can be confident that Jehovah will bless our endurance and use us in meaningful ways. Paragraph 17. How was Benjamin's prophetic blessing fulfilled? Genesis 49:27. Benjamin's blessing portrayed him as a fierce and capable warrior, like a wolf seizing prey. This was fulfilled in the morning of Israel's royal history, when Saul, from the tribe of Benjamin, became Israel's first king and fought valiantly against the Philistines. In the evening, the prophecy was again fulfilled when Esther and Mordecai, also Benjaminites, courageously acted to save Jehovah's people from destruction during the Persian Empire. Paragraphs 18. How can we imitate Benjamin's loyalty to Jehovah's arrangements? We can imitate Benjamin's loyalty by fully supporting those whom Jehovah has appointed to take the lead today. Although the Benjaminites could have clung to their tribe's former royal status, they accepted Jehovah's decision to transfer the kingship to Judah and remained loyal during times of national division. Likewise, our loyalty is shown when we support Jehovah's organization and those who serve faithfully in positions of responsibility, as encouraged in 1 Thessalonians 5:12. Paragraphs 19. How can we benefit from Jacob's deathbed prophecy? Jacob's deathbed prophecy strengthens our faith in Jehovah's word by showing how each inspired pronouncement came true. It also provides practical lessons as we observe how Jacob's sons were blessed or corrected based on their conduct. Reflecting on these examples helps us identify qualities that please Jehovah and encourages us to develop the kind of faith, loyalty, and obedience that He values. Now let's move on to answering the review questions of this article. What lessons did you learn from Jacob's words to Zebulun, Issachar, and Dan? From Zebulun, I learned the importance of being content and finding joy in the blessings Jehovah provides, even when they are not in the spotlight. Issachar teaches the value Jehovah places on hard work, especially when we use our strength to benefit others. Dan's example reminds me that no assignment is insignificant. Even roles that are not seen by many are vital and honored by Jehovah when done faithfully. What lessons did you learn from Jacob's words to Gad, Asher, and Naphtali? Gad's example teaches me to trust Jehovah completely, even when circumstances are risky, knowing He will support sacrifices made for His service. From Asher, I'm reminded that material prosperity can become a danger if it weakens our spiritual zeal. We must keep a balanced view of possessions. Naphtali's blessing encourages me to use gracious, meaningful speech, especially in praising Jehovah and sharing the good news. What lessons did you learn from Jacob's words to Joseph and Benjamin? Joseph's life shows that even when we face injustice, we can remain spiritually strong by relying on Jehovah and showing mercy. His endurance and forgiveness led to great blessings. From Benjamin, I learned the importance of loyalty to Jehovah's arrangements, even when changes occur. True loyalty means supporting those Jehovah chooses and remaining united with His people through all circumstances.